Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a series of cheesy games from Katowice 2020, starting with Cure versus SOS here on Simulacrum, the latter edition. Top left-hand corner, it is the blue Terran player Cure, and in the bottom right, he is a fan favorite. He is SOS. Man, love this guy. If you watch his games from GSL Group A on Africa TV's YouTube stream last week, then man, you saw an incredible game. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who has not seen it, but just go to Africa TV's YouTube channel and look for the GSL Round A VOD. And let's see, Group of 24 Round A, I think is what it says in the title there. And look for SOS versus Bunny. One of those games there is so incredible that Artosis and Tasteless called it a legendary StarCraft 2 game. Alright. So this is just a bunch of cheesy games from Katowice. Usually, I like to cast long macro games because those are more fun for me and more fun for you as well, I feel like. But I just want to see what's going on when games do not get to the 20-minute mark here. So alright, so this is game one. Should be good. These don't usually get as much, as much attention as a lot of the other games that I do cast that are longer macro style games for sure. But again, I'm just interested in seeing what happens when somebody dies at the 7-minute mark rather than at the 37-minute mark. And whether it is a 2-base timing attack or whether it's a DT style rush or whether it's, I don't know, maybe somebody went for a cannon rush here, but not in this particular game. But we've got players like Cure, SOS. We have Serral here. We've got Stats. We have Maru in the mix. Innovation is present. It should be a good time overall. And I'm really, really interested to see what we're going to get in this series of shorter games. Now, Warp Gate on the way. It really looks like a pretty standard match here so far, but I guarantee this does not make it to the 15-minute mark. So, who's moving in? I see you, Probe. Ah, this is where the fun stuff happens. This is where you start getting stuff like proxies. So Proxy Pylon coming up here for SOS right the heck now. I don't know why this probe would be down here unless that was the thing. Reaper gets in, is going to go ahead and actually probably get a probe kill here. There's really not much saving that. Oh, unless the other probes sacrifice their own lives, potentially. Risking their own lives for their friend there. My goodness, that was very nice. A good example of camaraderie. Meanwhile, this probe's still hanging out. This Adept coming in to try to do some stuff, but the wall is lifted. A Hellion's in production. A couple Marines are coming in here too. Adept is going to get some free shots just point blank in it. Oh, but hold on. Free shot. Doesn't actually, doesn't target fire the wounded Marine. And there are still 2 Marines remaining. That was a bit of a misclick there from SOS, but again, also dealing with his Reaper on the other end, who still doesn't have any kills whatsoever. And finally, we get a Pylon down here. I have to imagine that's got to be a Stargate, right? This has to be a Stargate attempt. And the question is Cure ready for like an Oracle to come in and ruin his stuff? I'm not sure that he is, to be honest with you. We don't see a lot of Oracles. Oh, it's a Dark Shrine. SOS with a Dark Shrine. Let's do this thing. How much energy will you have on your orbitals when this thing shows up is always a good question. Will you have a missile turret perhaps? Engineering bay, maybe? That could be something that Cure has by the time these DTs show up. I feel like this is going to be a secondary Pylon warp in. Although he does have a Robo in production, so he could just make a Warp Prism. And just, you know, like fly it in here and warp him in right there. I love the DT play off of 2 bases, and it doesn't even look all that suspicious. It really doesn't. He's getting charge here too. I mean, this is not just relying on DTs. He's got a couple Stalkers. Ah, that forward Pylon got canceled, though. Oh, it got scattered out by a Hellion. No. No. Is he gonna... He's looking. He's gonna find the Dark Shrine. Oh, no. Oh, no, Cure. That Hellion, though. Nicely done. SOS's fun and games are shut the heck down. Oh, that's such a bummer. All right. Well, I mean, I guess you go with it anyway. Slow warping of DTs coming in. Cure should be saving energy on his orbitals, and he is. He's at 85 energy for both, instead of closer to, 50 or under that he should have if he's actually throwing down mules effectively as he usually does. But yeah, that's fantastic. It has an engineering bay. He's got a turret coming up. This is just Cure scouting out SOS's attempt at going DTs and being like, it's cool. So meanwhile, I think we're going to have a big charge lot warp in inside the main base. That's what this is all about. That's what these additional gateways are all about. So I think we're going to see maybe, I guess the DTs are going to come in. We're going to warp in the Zealots, and we're going to go for it. But there's a ton of Marines. Enough energy there for a scan, enough energy. Oh, actually not enough energy for a scan there, but it doesn't really matter. So DT comes in. Couple DTs come in, going after these SCVs. They do one-shot them with their blades. Blop, blop. Trying to take down that tank, but the scan is good. And the Warp Prism does manage to just barely escape there. 5 SCVs killed with the DTs. Third base coming up from SOS in the meantime. Army supply is 22 to 31 in favor of the Terran player right now. That Warp Prism is stuck and probably has to recall home. There is no real world where that Warp Prism just gets out of here. Observer sets up in observation mode. I don't know how you snuck in past that missile turret, but great job. Oh, that's a scan and a kill. These Marines saw it. They saw it! Observer down. That totally sucks. Yeah, what's your follow-up here? If you open up DTs and you only get 5 SCV kills, you don't slow down the Terran player all that much at all. How do you possibly recover from that? It's hard to do. It's extremely hard to do, even for somebody like SOS. So what are we doing here? The answer is lots of Marines, lots of Marauders, getting a couple tanks in the mix. Blink is now getting started from SOS. He's trying to take a third base to try to get some economic advantage here over Cure. Our Reaper does go down after accomplishing absolutely 0 kills, but did get some good scouting off. That was nice for Cure here, but I feel like Cure is in complete control. If you can move out and actually do something here, SOS does not have the army to stop him from doing it. It's a lot of charge lots, but there's a ton of bio here. We got tanks. Got the combat shield. Extended thermal lance is on the way. Is SOS gonna have the ability to get Colossus out here in time? Has always been my question. Yeah, I mean, this is just Cure on 2 bases, macroing up hard, getting as many Marines and medevacs as he can, getting upgrades. He might even pull some SCVs for this attack. That is really more standard than I think it has any right to be in the current meta of StarCraft 2. So Concussive Shells is out. DT kind of stuck. And then gets scanned and killed because, of course, that is the DT after he has been revealed to exist. So here we go. 73 to 61 army supply. SOS has done a good job getting a decent army up, but it's just not enough. Oh, yeah. Pulling the SCVs. This is Cure going for it, man. This is absolutely Cure going for the attack. I'm going to try to set up his tanks, hopefully in range of a base or something. SOS delaying and denying as much as he can. He's got some force fields he can toss up on those ramps. Or on this ramp, rather. But tanks sieging up on the low ground, getting big-time shots on those Colossus. This is Cure trying to set up to go for it. Double Colossus here, though, with extended thermal lance. Can he get it? The Archon's doing that bonus splash damage, but they're getting target fire down pretty effectively here. The Colossus doing terrible, terrible damage. 13 kills and 19 kills on those Colossus there. The tanks still setting up, reinforcing units coming on in from Cure right now. SOS really only has the ability to make a single Colossus at the moment. Where is his next round of warp-ins is a good question for me. Nicely done with the tanks getting on. Oh, the Zealots on top of the tanks, though. Is SOS going to hold this? He's got a 56 to 20 army or worker supply. And yes, SOS holds the attack. And Cure taps out. Incredible. I thought for sure Cure had that game. Cure holds off the early DT attack, doesn't take any damage from it hardly at all. Comes in for the big old 2-base attack, brings the SCVs for meat shielding, but SOS is able to get 17 kills on that Colossus, 28 kills on that Colossus. He gets extended thermal lance out in time. It's very close, but he manages to make it happen. Cure can't really set up tanks in range of any of the bases. He brought along like 25, 26, 27 SCVs anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, SOS manages to hold the counter. That was crazy. He didn't even do enough damage to really cripple Cure. He killed 5 SCVs. 5 with that initial DT attack. And then Cure was like, it's time to go. Gotta make up for that somehow. And SOS is like, nah, we got this. Amazing. SOS, you're a boss. Just ridiculously good at this game. All right, let's move into game number 2 here. Game 2's here on Triton between Solar and Patience. Top left, Red Zerg Solar. Bottom right, Blue Protoss Patience. All right, so interested to see what a ZVP short game will be. Maybe it's going to be a 12 pool that really succeeds. Maybe it's going to be a cannon rush. And hey, oh, dang it. Hang on a second. Go out, go out, go out. Ah, man. If you send out a probe really early, then basically it's going to be a cannon rush here or some kind of a proxy, but Patience is just doing some standard thing here. So Solar, maybe, nope. Not going to be a 12 pool here. We will have to see. We'll have to see why this is a shorter, cheesy style game. Hit that like button, by the way. Just, you know, helps me get a little bit more attention here from YouTube's algorithm. And leave a comment as well. Could this be a smiley face? Could be a frowny face. Could be an emoji of a panda, if you're so inclined. Whatever it is, I will see it, and I will respond to it if I have the time or inclination to. Probe says, all right, hatch first here. 16, 18, 17 here from Solar. No big deal, no worry about Link showing up anytime soon here. And I guess as long as we have a minute, go ahead and check out the Falcon Paladin Hour. It is just a weekly podcast with myself and Samacron and Aussie. We talk about StarCraft 2. We talk about TV shows and books and movies and upcoming events and all sorts of fun stuff. If you're interested in listening to me talk with an Australian about stuff for about an hour a week, search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app. Unfortunately, we're not on Spotify, so if that's where you get your podcasts, it's not going to work out for you, but I assume you have a podcast app built into your phone. Just search Falcon Paladin on it, and you will find us lickety-split. No problem. Third base from Solar, sub 2 minutes. I like this. I've been doing this more often. It's just incredibly macro-friendly. And sure, you might die to some kind of a proxy. You might die to some kind of like a DT rush, but I don't know. It works out in the end if you don't die in the first 5 minutes. It really feels good. Patience, what are we doing? Trying to have some patience. Slow Ling's out to get rid of this probe, who is scouting so well. Overlord scouting as well as it can. And there's a Stalker in production with an Adept already on the way. So what is this? This is actually an interesting little game to play. What about this game makes it short? The last one was a DT attack that somehow ended up resulting in a success. I'm still lost on that game one. But Twilight Council, robotics facility coming in. It really might just have been that Cure was going for the 2-base attack regardless. He never really looked like he was going for a third at all. And that might have been something that told SOS he needed Colossus with extended thermal lance now. Because that's really what saved him. It killed... Oh, hang on. Unbuildable plates are still alive. You're trying to kill those. Alright, you gave up a little bit early. Resonating Glaives. Oh, is this just Patience going for the big old 2-base Resonating Glaives Adept all-in? Which is really stupid good against Zerg these days for some reason. I feel like Zerg figured it out like a year and a half ago, and then suddenly recently there's been this resurgence of like Adepts are really good again. I don't know why. But Roach Warren coming up. You do need Roaches or Banelings to handle this kind of a thing as a Zerg player. But yeah, I mean, these are additional gateways. That's a Warp Prism. This is Resonating Glaives. It looks kind of similar, actually, to a Charge Lot All-In, which we don't see anymore ever since they lost their ability to do 8 damage on attack on that charge. Can't remember the last time I saw a Charge Lot All-In like this against Zerg, but maybe that's why. Maybe Adepts are just a replacement for losing that, but it's just the extra gas here for the Adepts. You don't have these if you're going Zealots, because you don't need as much gas, obviously. You just need gas for the upgrades, and that's it. So, alright, good stuff here. We're looking at Adepts going to move out about 4.5 minutes. 11 Roaches are in production. A lair is done for Solar. He could probably just go for speed if he wanted to, and he is. He's going for Glial Reconstitution. So I think Solar's as prepared as you're going to get for this. I think he got a pretty good read on this one. The Glial Reconstitution is going to help a lot. And, I mean, every time one of those Shades goes in and doesn't get anything done, it's worse for Patience. It really is. He's trying to split here, and he does finish at the third, but Solar is too smart. He's not going to saturate that base unless he needs to, and he doesn't right now. This is just beautiful. There's just roaches everywhere, man. There's roaches at the ramp up to the main base. There's roaches in the natural. There's roaches at the third. I think Patience just got shut down. I think Solar, again, responded to it perfectly. He was ready to go. He got the roaches. He's droning up a bunch now because it feels like he's safe enough with the number of roaches that he has, as long as he's paying attention to where that Warp Prism is and where these Adepts are shading around. This Warp Prism is going to try to get it in the main, but again, there's just a handful of roaches ready to go here. Yeah, just not going to happen. Maybe you could try to warp in a huge round of Adepts, but the response time for roaches is pretty good, especially if they have speed, and in 10 seconds they will. Fantastic pull. If Solar doesn't win this game, I'm going to be amazed. He's up 54 to 45 workers. He lost 4 drones. Okay, I mean, that's annoying, but that is by far from game ending. Also, the creep down here at Patience's attempt at a third base is just annoying stuff. Stupid, stupid, annoying stuff. We got Immortals in production to try to deal with the amount of roaches that Solar's been going for. Observer does not escape. Little Observer corpse falling onto the creep there. And Solar's making roaches. He was droning for a second, but he's going to stop at about 55. Get a ton of roaches. Get Ling speed. Get +1 missile attack. And I think he's going to try to kill Patience fast here. So that was beautiful. I mean, that was just... That is how you read what your opponent is doing, respond to it perfectly, and then just absolutely shut it down. It's 76 to 40 army supply right now for Solar. Additional sentries in production. Sentry looks like it has a weird skin. Is it a weird skin? No, it looks pretty normal down here, I guess. Ravager. One single Ravager on the way. Army supply is 100 to 49. It's 100 to 49. The Roaches are like, we can't engage with that, but we can sandwich you. Oh, that's a free Immortal. Goodbye, free Immortal. These are some free roaches, but free roaches are cheaper than free Immortal. If that makes any sense at all. Oh, gosh. Coming from every direction, forcing a recall. Yeah, that attack did nothing. Adepts getting into the third base, trying to make something happen. Lings and Queens. Enough to handle these ones. The Adepts hit hard, but if they're getting surrounded, it's going to be a bad thing for them. And here comes... There's no way Patience holds on to this third. There's just not. It's 114 to 51 army supply. +1 missile attack is done now. Okay, in 6 seconds, but it's effectively done for this attack. And he's going to set up, and Patience is going to try to hold on, but I just don't see this happening. I really don't see this happening right now. Yeah, I mean, force fields are great, but that's why you have corrosive vials, which are used more and more for force fields in 2020, I feel like. This is just overwhelming Zerg numbers. Shield batteries are not going to be enough. Patience isn't even microing anymore. His army just got evaporated. He's down to 25 supply, and Solar gets the win in an absolute clinic of how to handle an Adept all-in like that and then counterattack with Roaches and Ravagers with a +1 attack and speed and get the win here in under 10 minutes. Beautiful, beautiful play. That's it for Game 2. Let's keep this thing rolling for your Sunday series. It's Innovation and Solar here on Zen the Ladder Edition. Bottom left-hand corner, it's Solar again. He's blue. And in the top right, it is the red Terran player, Innovation. All right, so just straight up, I feel like Innovation should win this game, but shorter games increase your chances to win versus a player that is better than you, objectively. And this is a proxying SCV because, man... Oh, second proxying SCV. All right, man, Solar, you're getting proxy barracked by Innovation. Probably the best in the world at this. Maybe Maru is better, but, man, it is neck and neck for sure. Overlord says, hey, little SCV. Man, if Solar saw that, he's going to... Yep, there you go. Extractor on the way. Extractor pool. He saw that early SCV and said, nope. Man, Solar is shutting this stuff down today. This might be 2 games in a row where he just scouts some early shenanigans by the enemy and just completely crushes it. He saw that. Innovation's like, you didn't know. He turns around, he runs. The Overlord scouting pattern here for Solar is good and lucky. Some combination of good and lucky. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, they say. I think this was a combination of both. Yeah, he sees the barracks. This is just a shutdown. You go extractor pool, you get speedlings out, and all this dies. You don't get barracks up. You don't get bunkers up. I mean, the barracks might finish. They're so far away. All of them might actually finish here, but yeah, this is a thing. The drone might want to come in here and see if there's any gas being taken, because that tells you if it's going to be Reapers or Marauders, but usually it's just Marines if it's TVZ. So, yeah. Lings in production, natural base coming up. I'm surprised Innovation is sticking with this. If I was him, I would maybe honestly... That early SCV got scouted. If he follows through with this and wins this, I will be beyond impressed. I have to put everything in the Innovation's gonna win this game basket. Look at him moving the wounded Lings to the back of the pack here. He's got more Lings in production. He's throwing up a spine. Speed's gonna be here soon. I mean, Queen coming down is gonna help with this. He's got additional Lings in production. This bunker is not finishing. It's just not. Lings trying to come in and picking off reinforcing Marines up this way, doing damage. Queen going to die, but 8 Lings in production and bringing the spine down to this low ground too. So Innovation is doing pretty well here for someone who got completely scouted. The Lings are coming down to try to save the spine, try to stop the bunker from coming up that SC. No, the bunker, what? No way! Did Innovation just do this, getting 100% scouted? Oh my gosh. Innovation, you're disgusting. Alright, Speedlings are up. They're better than Slowlings, but... No! Solar! That sucks. I think what he probably should have done is brought in some drones down. Just bring like 5 or 6 drones with the Lings that you had. Stop that bunker from coming up. I mean, he did what he could. Man alive, Innovation, you're stupid good at this. How many Marines died? You want to take a guess? I want to say it was like 4. So he has 12. And he lost, oh my gosh, he lost 1 Marine. He lost 1 Marine during this scouted proxy barracks attack. 1. I don't even know what to say about that. It was 1,000 resources lost for Solar and 150 total for Innovation. That's 2 SCVs and a Marine down. That is clinic level. You don't. Okay. Wow, that's a 3-minute scouted proxy barracks win. For Innovation, this guy, though, he's pretty good. We're going to move on. Don't go anywhere. You knew Haz would show up in this, right? You knew. Bottom right, it's the red Protoss player, Haz. And in the top left, it is the blue Protoss player, Haz. Did I say blue down here? It's red. I'm not sure what I said there. My brain does that to me. All right, man. This is a very, very early probe. It's going to be a cannon rush, I feel like. Just right down the middle of the map. No big deal. And let's see what Haz's first building is going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a forge. Hold on a second. Did he not throw down a pylon? Haz, you need a okay, first pylon here. All right. This is going to be good. Stats versus Haz. PvP Insanity. The 2 cheesiest races. Well, the one cheesiest race right now. 2 separate players. I don't know. What do you think is cheesier? Terran or Protoss? Probably Protoss. Protoss just has always had the widest variety of cheese. Zerg has like, I'm a 12 pool you, I guess. Oh my gosh. Double gateway and a forge. Haz is going full Haz on stats here, ladies and gentlemen. Probe not going to see this. Second probe coming in. Don't mind me. Just a regular probe. Scouting around. Oh, no. Interesting. Yes, 2 gateways. Oh, hang on a second. He uses Stats building to wall himself in here, and then he's going to throw down a cannon. Stats responds to this with his probes trying to kill these pylons, which is the smart thing to do. But cannon time is now for Haz. Oh my gosh, 2 cannons. I think he's got this. I think he has this. This pylon is going to survive. Or this, I mean, this might just be a fake out. This might just be, hey, Stats, focus on this. Don't try to scout your natural, because that's where the actual crazy stuff is happening right now. Alright, so yes, he does shut down this cannon rush. This is crazy stuff, man. That's a pylon, but it's going to die too. There's a zealot attacking it. Enemy zealots have arrived, and Stats is like, wait, what? What is happening right now? The answer is insanity. Oh my gosh, they're going to depower both of these. The Stalker doesn't get out! The Stalker is stuck inside the gateway! Zealot backing himself into a corner, fighting against these probes. Probe countdown is 2 for Stats right now. Additional Zealots continuing to come on in right now. Haz is throwing up another pylon, trying to power this cannon, but no! Shuts that one down too. This pylon trying to come up. Stats has all of his boys pulled right now. All of his probes are in this because he knows if a cannon gets up right in this position, he's going to die. He does repower his gateways. This is insanity right now. Abject chaos. One of Haz's cannons gets up for 2 shots and then is depowered. Zealots are being handled by Stalkers. I think Stats may have somehow held this. Somehow. Like, with magic and darkness. And Haz taps out. Yeah, that's it. He knew. This one cannon was not enough. It was 14 to 14 workers. All of his production was up here. He didn't have the tech for Stalkers, and Zealots are going to do super poorly there. The cannon rush was over. This cannon was the last one, and Stalkers can handle that, especially if maybe some Zealots are in production, or just additional Stalker here from Stats. Depowered Cybernetics core. He ends up losing 7 probes, but wins the game anyway. The Zealots, Stats, you're disgusting. You are disgustingly good at this game. I am... This is crazy. What a crazy match. That was so good. Man, I hope you're enjoying this. Hit this like button if you are. That was great. Moving on. Innovation and Maru. Here on Ephemeron, the Ladder Edition. Top left, it is Inno. And in the bottom right, it is Maru. Recently champion of the GSL Super Tournament. That was held a couple of weeks ago. Is 2020 the year of Terran? Got Beyond coming back from his military service. And Maru is looking good so far. Alright, who's our guy? Who's going to be the one to do crazy shenanigans here? Or is this just maybe, you showed up with a Raven and a Cyclone and I wasn't quite ready for it. Bam, dead. Sometimes that happens in TBT too. So these players have played against each other a bunch. And according to what Liquipedia says, their series, or Aligulac actually says this, but their record against each other is about 500. I think Innovation may have won 55% of the games, and Maru's won 45, something like that. It's very close. I kind of thought like Innovation had Maru's number a little bit, but no, it really, I mean, that is a little bit. It's a bit of an advantage in win-loss record, but Maru's right there, man. He is neck and neck with Innovation as far as these TVTs are concerned. So we'll see who the crazy shenaniganizer is going to be. SCV coming out from Inno. I'm still in shock at how well that proxy barracks play worked, especially because it got scouted instantly. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I really feel like Terran should just proxy barracks Zerg every time, because the success rate is really high, and if it doesn't work, you can lift your barracks home and recover and win anyway. It's not like a lot of other cheeses where if it fails, you just die. Like Haz, that last game. His cheese failed and he died. He wasn't coming back from that, but I've seen a lot of proxy barracks where the proxy barracks stuff doesn't actually kill the enemy, and then the Terran just lifts the barracks, brings them home, Starts going into bio and ends up winning the game. It's insane. It really is nuts. So double gas here for Maru, though. Oh, he only has one SCV on that gas, but indicates to me he's going into a bit of a more mech opening. Maybe some Hellions and some Cyclones. Like I said, maybe a Raven. It'd be pretty good. Factor around the way from Innovation, but it's further on the way here from Maru. He's not expanding is the big deal. Right? He's not expanding here. Hellion, another Hellion coming in here. This is interesting stuff. SC, both players... Oh, never mind. SCV goes... Yes, both players do lose their SCV. Relative health on these Reapers is such that Inno can't really engage here without dying, and he does delay the natural base that Innovation has put so many resources into. Maru is now expanding. He's getting a starport here. This early aggression from Maru has been really good. Second Reaper shows up and is going to he delays it again. He delays the natural command center for Innovation again. This is some good stuff. This is some stupidly good stuff from Maru. All right, SCV will come in and finish it this time, only because it has like 2 seconds to work. KD8 charge is getting tossed down. Hellion, Marine, pretty scary stuff, but Maru gets the delay, but his natural is late. So I don't know, man. I mean, starport finishing up from Innovation. I don't know if that was the greatest thing for Maru when it comes right down to it. Worker count is about the same. Maru's natural is later than Innovation's is. And Maru's starport is later than Innovation's was, because he already has a tech lab and he's already making a Raven out of it. This isn't good. This is not good for Maru. I want to say the early aggression was nice, but looking at the results, I'm not convinced that it really did everything that Maru needed it to do to be worth the sacrifice of delaying his natural base and his other tech. Yeah, there's your Cyclone. There's your Raven. This is what I was talking about. That interference matrix is super good. At this early stage, if your enemy has a tank and you can interfere with it and shut it down, you can win battles you normally would have no chance at. Or interfering with... I mean, it's interfering, but it's kind of disabling too. I don't know. It's not a full disable because you can still move, but... Anyway, all right. A couple of the Reapers going to go down here. I think he really wants to kill that Raven, but Innovation's micro is a little bit too good to allow that to happen. Lock on taking down an auto turret. A Hellion for Innovation tries to join the party here. This is some aggressive stuff out of Maru. I kind of like it. He's doing some pretty fancy lift and drop stuff with the Cyclone. If he can get that Raven, he's not actually worried about it. I guess the Raven, if it doesn't have enough energy to do anything, it's not a priority target. Look at this micro from Maru, though. Oh my gosh, 9 SCVs taken down. Auto turrets getting tossed down to try to handle the situation, but the auto turrets are dying. Cyclone locked on and killed for Innovation. Both of Maru's are still alive. 10 kills on that Cyclone. 7 kills on that one. Auto turret snipes one of the Cyclones. But at 37 to 27 workers, Maru has his own Raven right now. This is not a huge army for Maru, but it is ready to rock. Another SCV down. Innovation is still making SCVs for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Auto turret down. Doing some work here against these Marines. Cyclone versus tank, pretty good because of the range involved here in the bonus versus mechanical. Tank does manage to escape. What a crazy, crazy game this is. This is really good stuff. 43 to 28 workers, though, for Maru. He's up 20 to 13 army supply. He's got the... He's going to set up... Oh, he's going to siege up his tank right here. That's such a bad place for Innovation. It's in range of his orbital. Raven's going to try to disable it if it has the... It doesn't have the energy to do so, though. Oh, auto turret trying to focus down that tank, but the repair is too good. And the tank will survive, if just barely, but the repair is super excellent, as I said. It's 27 to 11 army supply. This is just too much. This is too much Maru right now. Auto turret coming down, same thing, trying to take out a tank, can't quite do it. The natural base of Innovation is taking tank fire from 2 separate siege tanks. And the repair is keeping it alive, but it's also draining resources from Innovation. His bank is nothing right now. He can't really afford to make anything enough to handle what we're seeing here. High ground tank from Innovation is good, but tank down for Innovation, and that's a GG. Maru gets the win in 7 minutes on the nose. What a beautiful, beautiful result there from Maru. Yeah, man. I mean, this right here, he brings some tank or Marines up to absorb some shots and get that vision and take down that tank. It's just delicious. Just delicious. 3,800 resources lost for Innovation, only 1,700 for Maru. That was beautiful. The early attack did not do enough damage, but the follow-ups were fantastic. The siege tank placement was really good. The Raven auto turret stuff was great. No interference matrix at all today. Interested by that, but yeah, able to kill 21 SCVs of Innovations, able to continue pumping SCVs back home like a boss. Maru, man, I'm telling you, Year of Terran 2020, Maru is part of it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's move on. Of course, there's more Has. What kind of short game compilation is complete without more Has, you guys? Bottom right, blue Protoss, you know him. And in the top left, it's the red Zerg, Dark. What you up to, Has? Now, here's the thing. If you're known for being an extreme cheeser, then people prepare for cheese when they play you, right? But if you're not known for being an extreme cheeser, then sometimes they don't prepare. So it's a hard thing to balance. Like Serral, right? Serral used to be known for just doing only macro style. But then he threw in, 12 pools, you know, some 3 roach rush, and now he's more unpredictable than he used to be. Because it used to be if you're playing Serral, then you're not worried about a Baneling bust or anything like that early. But now you have to prepare for everything. And Has is kind of the same way. Has is really good at macro style, and I think he's sprinkling it a bit more into his play style. We will see. And this just looks pretty darn standard. I was hoping for a cannon rush here. Cannon rush versus Zerg is always very fun. I like it a lot, but has other things on his mind right now. Checking around. 16, 18, 17 out of Dark. Gonna play the mineral stealing game. No big deal. Hey, you should check out the store. We have new stuff. Check it out. Falcon Paladin .store. We have some new designs. I got a new designer to get some new shirt styles for us, and that is a fake cannon rush. If I ever turn near... Oh, never mind. That's a forge. Is this the delayed... What the heck? Dude, Has, you're crazy. Anyway, I got a new designer to design us some shirts and some coffee mugs. So check it out. FalconPaladin.store. We have things for all Terran, Zerg, and Protoss races. So he cancels 2 of the pylons to return some of the cash here. The pool's going to finish up. Dark is not concerned about this. Oh, we got the pylon or the photon cannon down just before that creep popped. That is, I mean, it looked like he built the cannon on creep. That's how close that was. Is he just, yeah, he's just like, whatever. I'm making a Roach Warren. This is an interesting response from Dark. Okay, so it is a super delayed cannon rush out of Has. This is insanity. He's going to try to take down this hatch. With 2 cannons working at it, it's not going to take long. Stargate follow-up, because why not? Zergling's trying to get across the map here, but there will be an Adept to hold this wall before they arrive, because Chrono Boost is a good spell. Yeah, I mean, at this stage, it's going to be Ravagers. Ravagers trying to shut this thing down, but Dark is on his back foot here. Oh, hang on. Remember when I was like, the Adept is here before the Lings get in? Nope. That did not happen at all. But Adept is here to make sure the Lings can't shut down the Nexus, at least. Which counts for something. And actually, all the Lings die. So that was pretty good. That worked out in the end. And the Dark's natural dies. The Broodlings try to take down this cannon. And you know what? Roach helping. There you go. Dunzo cannon, but that's for a hatchery. It's a 2-bait. This is nuts. This is why I like casting these games, is for the insanity that is Has doing crazy stuff versus Zerg and versus other Protoss and versus Terran. It's a Void Ray to deal with the inevitable Roach Ravager style attack that is coming. He knows what the Zerg response has got to be on one base. He can't expand here because there's a cannon, and he has to kill it first. And he knows there's not a base here, so it's a 1-base Zerg, which means he needs to be building army units now. And additional cannons, if at all possible. So Void Ray shows up, and the Ravagers are like, crap. If you're wondering about prismatic alignment, why it's not up, it's because it doesn't do bonus damage versus things that aren't armored. So the queens and the ravagers here don't count. So I love he made these all ravagers. I really do. I love the queens made the slow march over here as well. This is good. This is good stuff. I think Dark might have this. I really do. I mean, this Void Ray cannot stop all of this. It doesn't have the prismatic alignment necessary. Yeah, that Artosis pylon was huge to take it down with the corrosive vials. Just kidding, there were 2 pylons. Just the Ravager took both of them out there. And this Void Ray has 0 kills. 0 kills on this Void Ray. All the damage has been doing 0 kills here. These are, I mean, this is it. That's your GG. The probes are coming in to fight. It's a desperate scenario for the Protoss player, but Ravagers are really hard to kill for probes. Queen's doing that damage versus the Void Ray, and it does end up getting sniped, and Dark gets the win. Ends up losing his natural base, and then just makes a bunch of Ravagers, walks his Queens clear across the map here on Ephemeron, which is a decent hike. It's a decent hike. Takes down the Void Ray that he knew would be there eventually, after all. I don't think the Void Ray got any kills. Did any Ravager? Okay, 1 Ravager died. I think maybe 1 kill for that Void Ray, and that was it. But that was amazing. I kind of feel like Haz got a little greedy. He went for the 2 base here, and he maybe should have started making Void Rays and Oracles and stuff faster. Because Dark was 1 base in it, and a 1 base Protoss will absolutely kill a 1 base Zerg. No question about it. So Haz going for the greed after the delayed cannon rush does take down Dark's natural, but then Dark just shows up with a million Ravagers. A couple Queens that did awesome work for him too and gets the win. Beautiful, beautiful play. Great stuff. All right, next up, I don't know. Let's see who it is. Maybe some Serral. Should we do some Serral? All right, it's round 2 for Solar and Innovation here. I don't know how Solar can recover from that last game. He scouted it, he prepared for it, but not well enough, and Innovation won. Man, top left, anyway. It is going to be the Red Zerg player, Solar. And in the bottom right, it is the Red Terran player, Innovation. Doing it again, man. It's like, here we go. Proxy times. Overlord, you going to scout it this time, or... It's not looking as good. Innovation kind of choosing the left side of the map for his proxies, and the Overlord is heading the wrong direction. Oh, Solar, I love you. I think you're really good. You're nigh unstoppable in some of these kind of online cups that I've seen you play in, that I've cast you in. By the way, I do that. I cast live StarCraft 2 at the professional level out on africatv.com/laughingames. If you want to check it out, please do. Just, africatv.com/laughingames. There's a link in the description. Every 2 weeks, we do incredible co-casting StarCraft to professional stuff. This next lineup, it features Innovation, it's Patience, it's... Oh, who's the Zerg we have? I want to say it's Dark. It's an incredible, incredible lineup. Check it out. It's usually Fridays or Saturdays. So if it's coming up here, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Falcon Paladin for announcements for a few days in advance of when those are going to be. They're great. I really enjoy casting them. I think you'll really have a good time watching those too. All right, man. Well, no scouting today. SEV comes in at a fairly traditional time to scout. Innovation's so sneaky. And Solar has no idea. No idea this is happening until he sees the second SCV, and then he says, oh, crap. So this is a pull the boys time. Yep. Drones coming off the line. What they're really trying to do is prevent a bunker from coming up in range of that hatch. So if they can let the creep spread just far enough here. Keep spreading creep. Yes, I think... Oh, he found a spot. He found a spot where he can toss it down. Got 12 Lings in production this time. This might actually work better for Solar. Second bunker coming up. You need to go now. If that third bunker starts coming, you're done. You need surrounds. You can't get it with the 3 bunkers. So doing the kiting play. Drones are actually pretty good against Marines just because they hit pretty hard and they're faster than Marines are. It's just they don't hit as hard as Marines do. Oh, okay, that bunker is... Oh, you know what? If you can chase the Marines away, you let the bunkers finish. Not as big of a deal. Another Marine down. Innovation has already lost more Marines in this game than he did in that last one, which did last a little bit longer. Keep the Marines. Oh, wait, they're going for the bunker. Ah! They're inside the house. They're inside the bunker. Am I wrong, or is Solar actually reacting to this better, having no idea that it's coming? And Solar taps out. I mean, it was better, but not good enough. 2 bunkers at your front like that. All you have are slow lings and queens, and that spine goes down. Innovation, you're dirty. You're a dirty, dirty Terran. That's why we love you. All right, more stuff. I think I promised the Serral game, right? So let's get up to that. Serral, top left. Lambo, bottom right. ZVZ, Insanity on tap here. Man, knife fight in a phone booth for sure. Let's see. There you go. There's the 12 pool from Lambo. And let's see how Serral responds to not knowing what Lambo is doing here, because drone scouting in ZVZ is not okay at the higher levels. But at the lower levels, you can get away with it, because drone scouting is not going to make you win or lose the mid-game at your level. That's how I feel about it anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and 16 hatch. No big deal from Serral. He's like, I mean, sure. Lambo is a great Zerg player. One of those EU Zergs that has been, has been laddering against Serral nonstop for 2-3 years now, if not longer. And so, yeah, they know each other extremely well. Lambo's ZVZ against Serral is probably as good as anybody else's ZVZ against Serral can be. So 6 lings in production. The overlords need to be in places to see lings as they come across the map. So Serral has a response to this. But there's your 17th pool just now getting started. And lings are popping now. Oh, he's bringing the boys. He's pulling the boys. All right, man. Let's see how this sucker goes. Lings, drones, moving across the map. The overlord's going to see... Hang on. Yes, the overlord sees the drone train and the lings coming. And even if that one didn't see it, this one definitely saw it. So at this stage, immediate drone coming. What's this drone for? I'm not sure what this drone is for. He's hiding. Oh, is he going to use this to build a spine when Lambo's not? Oh. All right, forward spine from Lambo. That's all he has the money to do. Drilling play here. Excellent job, Serral, stacking all of his drones onto one of the mineral patches and then using them to all attack at the same time. It is so hard to kill drones this way when they're all stacked up like that, unless you have splash damage, which nobody obviously does here. But this is the key. This drone, I'm watching you. Lings coming out from Serral. Nobody has any income right now. And I was expecting this to do something down here. All right, what's the state of the game? 7 lings to 7 lings, 11 drones to 11 drones. What? What happened? He just got beat by Serral's... Okay, and all those lings showed up, and now here's the fight. Sure, I guess. He took some hits there for absolutely yes, but I don't know. It felt a little bit premature. I mean, the problem is that Serral had 2 bases. He could retreat to this area. Probably is going to throw up spine up with that drone. Okay, hang on. I have one more Serral versus Lambo here. I think it's worth doing. Let's come back with that one. Hold up. Okay, we're on Ephemeron here for game 2 between these 2 players. I guess we'll give Serral a 1 and Lambo a 0. Top left, Serral. Bottom right, Lambo again. Same spawn locations, different game, different map. I was trying to decide to say game or map there, and my brain was like, seg fault. Sometimes that happens when I'm casting. All right, so let's see what Lambo does here in game number 2 of this little mini twofer here that we've got going. Anyway, I hope you're all feeling safe. I hope you're all feeling healthy with the COVID running around. I mean, honestly, probably, I don't know. Statistically, not all of you are healthy, unfortunately. But if you are somehow affected, I hope you recover quickly. Lambo's just going to 16 hatch, as Serral is. So, All right, well, let's see how this goes. Let's see how these players respond to the fact that their opponent went for a 16-18-17 style play. Both players taking their gas at the same time because it's the same build, and both players throwing their pools down at exactly the same time because it's the same build. Lambo's next drone was a little bit faster, which means he's maybe a little bit ahead here in this ZVZ. But yeah, this is another short one, and I'm just not quite sure what about it. What about it means that it is short? Because obviously we're not doing the same little drone pull here that we saw in game number 1 of these players. I don't know why you have Terran music playing, but okay. Seems fine, I guess. I was going to say, this drone is either going for a quick third or there you go. That harvesting timing from Lambo was beautiful. Okay, who's going to be the first person to blink right now? Because someone's going to do something aggressive. And no one's doing it yet. They're both getting speed. They're both getting queens out. Overlord's coming in to scout for the first time today. They check the hatch timing and recognize everything's cool. Both players' first pair of lings are on the way. They might meet in the middle and try to fight to the death, or they might just ignore each other and try to get over and pick off drones on the other side of the map. I don't know. Third base timing from Lambo here. Okay. Oh, nope, nope. Serral's doing the same thing. Okay. That actually works out nice. The Overlord shows up, sees the timing on the hatch, and says, yeah, I can probably afford to take a third base here. It's a bit of a risk. We're both... This is the mirroriest of mirror matchups today. We're hacking away. Actually, hold on. No, they both have 4 lings. Where's the other set? Here's the other set of lings for Lambo. They're just a bit out of position is all. Not a big deal. Are they both... They're... This is 3 minutes of the exact same build, everyone. Speed's going to finish at the same time, so none of these lings are going to die. Who is it? Who's going to be the first person to blink? Who makes the first huge swell of lings? Nobody yet. We're all making lings, but not going crazy with it. Baneling nests are going to finish here very soon. There you go. Baneling nest up. A couple defensive banelings would be nice. Lambo thinks about scouting in, decides not to. And where are you? There you go. Defensive baneling there. Lambo's making a Roach Warren behind this, which Serral is not. Okay, that's our big divergence right now between these two players. Is one of them went for roaches, the other one didn't. And they don't scout the Roach Warren either. So Serral's going to be a little bit blind here to the fact there's going to be a Roach play. He's making his own Roach Warren, but it feels late. This is tight. This is really tight right now. Lambo has a bit of a window where he can do a big bunch of roaches and show up and really cause some problems for Serral here. All right, so scouted the roaches. Saw those guys coming. So at this point, Spinecrawler trying to come up. Oh, but the drone is stuck behind the queen. Move! Get out of the way! Okay, spine behind the wall, I guess. That's fine, too. I don't know if this is enough. I mean, lings and banelings against roaches are not good. Lings coming up, trying to see what's what. It's just lings. It's just banelings. Serral has 9 roaches of his own on the way, but I'm not sure how much it actually matters. He's trying to make his own banelings to deal with Serral's lings, which can be a problem. In the macro sense here, has anybody lost any banelings yet? It's all been about Zerglings that have died. All right, man. The roaches are here. Serral's roaches are going to pop any second. But killing the queens would be massive. Just having an army advantage here would be good. The Spinecrawler is a big problem for Lambo, too. Is it going to be enough for Lambo to kill these queens? He is. The queens are down. That's a problem for Serral, but he's got enough roaches popping out, and that's it. Yeah, Serral just had the better build there. Was able to get more roaches out because he waited a little bit longer to make his army. Was able to hold, did end up losing 3 of his queens, but killed all 10 of Lambo's roaches, killed 40 of his Zerglings. And at the end of the day, had 37 and 28 workers. His army supply was much bigger, and Lambo was just toast. So a bit of a different game than the first one there, but that is sometimes how ZVZ is. All right, we got a couple more games to go. We're almost done for the day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. final game of the short games compilation, the cheesy stuff for April 2020, will be here on Nightshade between Stats and Deer. Top left. Bottom left? Man, my brain today. Woo! It's going to be Stats. He's blue. And in the bottom right, it is the red Protoss player, Deer. Somebody cannon rush for me today. I know we've seen a couple cannon rushes. I'm getting greedy. I understand. We haven't seen any successful cannon rushes today, though, have we? No, absolutely, positively not. We haven't. We haven't, lads. Both players look pretty standard opening here right now, which does not bode well for a cannon rush, unfortunately. But hey, we'll get there. We'll get there in the end. Something fun is going to happen. Something unexpected. An ending. Perhaps. Yeah, so double gate opening, huh. Doesn't feel super crazy from anybody, to be honest with you. Both players got their double gas up. Deer's not... there you go. He's going to take some gas here from his second assimilator. Same story out of Stats side of the map, too. Both players getting that cyber core. Now, what happens here is going to be different. It can be any combination of adepts, sentries, and stalkers. What you don't want to do is make zealots in early game PvP at all. Oh. Deer throwing up a weird proxy pylon that's way, way closer to his base than it is to Sat's base. So I'm not sure what the intent here is exactly, but hey, it's cool. We'll see what happens. Maybe he throws down a Dark Shrine. I'm on board with this attempt. For sure. But he does have to get a Twilight Council first. So Probe scouting around, sees there is a pylon missing, and says, yes. That's what I thought. There's something happening out here, and it's a robotics facility. So maybe some Warp Prism shenanigans. Hoping to keep it from Stats, keep him in the dark about this stuff. Not that he's playing against dark, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I love this. Stats is trying to find it. He's like, all right, there's another pylon somewhere. Somewhere in this land. And Deer just scouts regular stuff. He sees the second pylon. He didn't see the third one, but I think he can make some assumptions anyway. So what's it going to be here? Ooh, sentries. So adepts and sentries. Ooh, is this like a... adepts into your main base, force field off your ramp kind of a play? I'd be on board with that. Kind of like this. What are you making? Oh, it's an immortal. Okay, so proxying an immortal in. Nice wall off there as the adepts were trying to come in, but stalkers do pretty good against adepts. They really don't take much damage from them, and they're faster, except for the shade ability. So I like making stalkers. I think stalkers are probably the best way to go. Adepts. He didn't scout that, did he? He's looking. He's really looking for this proxy robo, but he hasn't been able to find it. Depending on where these got, they got close, but no cigar. He's going to go for a regular stalker style attack right now. And there's going to be an immortal is the problem. And Pacha! Pacha! Yeah, that's, you gotta run, man. Immortals are just the answer to stalkers. They're the answer to roaches. They're the answer to Thor. They're the answer to a lot of things here. So does Stats have enough to hold? He doesn't have any immortals of his own, which seems like a bad thing. And there are immortals here for Deer. So, second immortal in production. This is a pretty tight hold right now. Shield batteries up. They're going to help immensely. Adept's going for that shade. Can't do it. Canceling the shade as a result. Hallucinating Phoenix says, oh, there's nothing going on back here. There's not an expansion from Deer. Okay, so that means Deer needs to win. He needs to win now. Shading up. Not allowed to shade up. Where's his second? He's got his second immortal. Is he just going to move him into the main? You go and try. Oh, no. The War Prism, though. Okay. Easy. Ah, the force field on the ramp, keeping Stats army. He recalls down to his natural base, but is it in time to save a shield battery? Definitely not in time to save a shield battery there. Nice Warp Prism shenanigans here from Deer, keeping his dudes alive, shuttling them to the back here. The Immortals are great. No, Stats Immortal comes out, gets focused down by 2 of Deer's Immortals. It goes down. Are there enough Stalkers to win the day? The Immortals are being kept alive and on the back lines. And it looks like Deer might just be able to do this with the... No, another Immortal shows up. And Deer does end up winning the game with the 3 Immortal play. 8 kills, 3 kills on these Immortals. Sentries even getting on the mix here. The 1 base, sneaky Robo, hiding it from Stats, Immortal push. What a boss game there from our Deer Protoss here. I didn't think he was going to win this thing, but the sneakiness paid off in the end. What a game. Beautiful. Yeah, no Immortals died. A couple Adepts, a Sentry went down, but 2,500 resources lost to 800 resources lost is so good. It is so good. All right, well, that is going to be it today for your Short Games compilation here from Falcon Paladin from Katowice 2020. I mean, that was really fun. So anyway, that's how this works. If you liked what you saw and what you heard today, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I've got StarCraft content every day on this channel. You can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.